How are you going? If we haven't met yet, hi, it's really lovely to see you. My name is Brooklyn, and yeah, I'm the creator of this awesome space for us. The reason that I put it together was because I felt it was really important that counselors had a space outside of some of the other disciplines because we experience different issues, and I wanted us to have a space where we could feel more free to perhaps talk about those together. So I'm not being rude. What I'm doing is I'm just setting up my phone now because I don't know if you've ever recorded live before, but there's usually a little bit of a lag between the live video and what's getting shown. And so I do not want to miss anybody's comments. So I'm just now getting into our group. So if you're here, say hello so I can see you, and yeah, we can go from there. Okay, so I'll just keep an eye on that. How did you go implementing last week's bite-sized action step, which was to get onto Rextro and book yourself in a few months' time with doctors? I hope you've all done that now. Yes? Yes. Okay. So next step. What I don't want you to do, and I'm going to keep this really, really short because I'm trying to keep these trainings to 5 minutes. I promised I'd talk about a big mistake private practice owners make when they have conversations with third-party referrers. So the big thing is they get their promotional material together, their pens, their sticky notes, their referral pads, all of that. They take the lunch down, they go and sit down there and they wait for the doctors, or if it's not doctors, maybe it's support coordinators from the NDIS, or maybe it's PHN and all the practitioners at PHN, whoever the third party is. And they sit down and they just talk about themselves. The counsellor just talks about themselves. My practice does this. I use these modalities. I see these sorts of people. Me. Now, that's probably very repellent for doctors to be listening to, or for any third party to be listening to, in fact. The reason that I know this is because I was one of those subcontracting psychs that worked at the bulk billing medical centres, and was privy to a lot of those meet and greets. I sat in on counsellors who came in and presented and they were just not good. And the comments from the doctors were not fantastic either. So I've got a new way that works, that's going to help you convert those meetings. So those meetings are a first step, and they're a first step to getting referrals. So let's convert those meetings into referrals for you with this very, very simple approach. So many of you already know how to do this. You just didn't think to apply it to this setting. All I want you to do is use a person-centered approach to these meetings. So while it might feel counterintuitive, do not talk about yourself, right? The purpose of the meeting is not to go and sell yourself. The purpose of the meeting, it's a mindset shift, right? The purpose of the meeting is to go and build a relationship with that person, because you're not going to get work from people who don't know you, like you, trust you, think you can do the job, all of those sorts of things, okay? So how do you build that relationship? As I said, we're going to use a person-centered therapy framework. Although I know a doctor or a third-party referrer is not a therapy client, we're using that same approach. So what does this look like in real life? What this looks like in real life is you go and sit down, and before you even start whipping out your pens and your sticky notes and your labels, oh, thanks, Teresa, I'm glad it's landing for you. What I want you to do is just put all that aside for the moment, and I just want you to say, hey, how are you going? I just want you to get to know them. Start building that rapport, which you are all amazing at doing. Build that rapport. Oh, do you live in Hastings as well as work here? Oh, how long have you lived down here? No, you don't. Oh, okay. Do you know much about the area? Have you been coming down here long? I'm born and bred in Hastings. Maybe I can give you some insights. Talk to them. What have you noticed? Has there been any change to the presentation of clients coming through here as a result of COVID? I've certainly noticed there's been more anxiety. Has that been your experience too? And the doctor's going to open up and say, yeah, actually there have been. I've been writing a lot more scripts for depression and anxiety lately. And you're going to say, wow, that's really interesting. What's it like for you as a doctor having to look after all of this? Do you feel like there's enough services around to support people. And they're probably going to say something to you like, well, I can't get them in to see a psychologist at the moment because all the psychologists around here have a wait list. And da 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 da, and you're just going to listen. Don't jump in and say you can see them. You just listen and show empathy. That must be really challenging. That must be really tough. Is there anything that might make your job a bit easier? Like, is there something you wish you had? And just listen. You know what I mean? Like, future pace with the doctor a little bit, see what's going on there. And then after the conversation has sort of come to a natural close, that's when you can say to the doctor, I've just been reflecting as we're talking here, and I think I might be able to solve one of those problems for you. Not all of them, but I think I can help you out with one. I actually have some capacity. So if you've got a couple of people on a wait list now that really need help now, if you want to send them over, I'll absolutely see if I can see them for you next week or the week after. How would that be? And they're going to see you as a resource then. Do you see? It's a perception shift in the mind of that third-party referrer. All of a sudden, instead of them feeling like, oh no, here comes another counsellor trying to sell their services, all of a sudden, the doctor's now thinking, you are a resource, you can help me. So that's where you want to be positioning yourself. And you say, yes, I can. And then you say to the doctor, what would make it easy for you to make this referral? What's the easiest way for you to make these referrals to me? Okay. And he's going to say, or she's going to say something like, oh, well, if I could just call, or do you have a card, or this, that, or the other. Fine. That's what you provide. Okay. And you say something else like, if, you're seeing a lot of anxiety, and if your clients can't get in to see people at the moment, did you know that there's a couple of fantastic apps that they can use? Have you got your phone here? I can pop them on your phone for you if you like, or I can show you how to download those. I can show you how to get them on your phone. So that's what you're going to do. Just be a resource, okay? Stop selling. You don't need to sell. Nobody wants you to sell. There's no expectation for you to sell. I want you to go there and build a relationship. I want you to set the intention before you go of building a relationship. Ask yourself, what's the best way I can build this relationship with this referrer today? What does this referrer need from me right now? Stuff like that. And just see what comes through for you and go from there. Now, if you're somebody who gets a bit nervous about having these types of conversations with third-party referrers like doctors or NDIS or PHN or whoever you're getting your work from, that's okay. What I would love to suggest is, if you like, we can absolutely have a role play together. We can do a 10-minute practice together on Zoom or in this group or something like that, if you like, so that you can get your confidence up, because it's really important that you know how to have these meetings well, because at the end of the day, you only need a handful of referrers to be sending you clients, okay? And you just want to really nurture those relationships. But it's about relationships, not selling. And I'm here to help. So if you want to have a practice, let me know in the comments, and we can easily just do that on a 5 or 10 minute Zoom. I can pretend to be a doctor, and you can pretend to do the conversation, and we can do it vice versa, so that you can see what it's like to be receiving this kind of information as a third-party referrer as well. And it might just help you wrap your head around how to get these people referring to you. So I hope this really helped. I want to give Teresa a shout out of gratitude. Thank you so much for joining me on here. I love it seeing your comments, and I love knowing that this is helpful. If you're watching the replay, let me know. Just go #replay in the comments. And yeah, I'm here for you guys. So this week, I want you practicing how to do your meet and greets. Bye.